Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another NC Strong update. These updates give us a chance to spotlight some of the good work being done across North Carolina. As we keep working to build a safer, stronger state, we want to keep you updated on our progress. That's why I'm announcing today that our 100 County Strong dashboard is live. At 100strong.nc.gov, and that's 100 in numeric form, 100strong.nc.gov, you can learn more about the work that your government is doing in all 100 counties. It includes information on how we're investing in communities across the state, how many jobs have been announced, how much medical debt has been relieved, how many children are receiving Sunbucks stipends, and much more. And we're going to update this website periodically so that North Carolina's taxpayers can see how their government is delivering for them. We live in times when many people are disillusioned with government. They don't always know that if the people they elect are serving and working on their behalf. As leaders, we owe transparency on the progress we're making, so I encourage everyone to check out the dashboard and then hold us accountable for delivering for your community. I now want to address another topic that is top of mind for families across North Carolina. The cost of living is too high for too many families. Whether it's housing or health care, groceries or electricity, prices are going up faster than people can afford. That's why we must act to keep costs as low as possible. So I want to share some good news about lowering electricity costs through Energy Saver NC. I've invited Secretary Reed Wilson and Mosine Lowe of the Center for Energy Education to join me. And I am pleased to announce that Energy Saver NC is now available in all 100 North Carolina counties. Energy Saver NC is a $208 million federally funded program through the Department of Energy that offers two separate types of rebates to eligible households. The rebates are designed to make your utility bills cheaper now and in the future. The first rebate offers up to $16,000 for making whole home efficiency upgrades, such as installing energy-efficient HVAC unit. The second rebate provides up to $14,000 for new appliances like electric stoves that are more energy efficient. We project that families using the first type of rebate alone will save an average of nearly $1,000 on an annual basis in utility expenses. And while we don't yet have the numbers on the second type of rebate, we are sure that there will be additional savings for eligible homeowners. After the winter we've had, we can all appreciate the benefit of our heat working a little more efficiently and not breaking the bank when we use it. Last January, we launched this program in a few counties, and we've kept expanding the program across the state until last month we added the final two counties, our state's largest, Mecklenburg and Wake. Energy Saver NC is a win-win-win-win, and you don't get those every day. It's a win for families who participate. They get significant savings for upgrading their appliances and HVAC system, and then they save thousands of dollars on their utility bills over time. It's a win for contractors. By funding these upgrades, we're keeping them working and supporting roughly 2,300 jobs. It's a win for our environment and our health. Reducing energy use also reduces carbon emissions, carbon pollution. It's a win for our energy grid. The more families who participate, the less strain there will be on the state's power grid. So to any family watching, I urge you to go to energysavernc.org and check to see if you are eligible for this remarkable program. The power grid has been a big topic of conversation recently. The recent winter weather has strained that grid. Electric companies had to ask consumers to dial back use to ensure that we didn't have blackouts. And then you have the growth of data centers that consume vast amounts of energy, creating an additional challenge on the grid. Next week, my Energy Policy Task Force will be issuing its first report on how we can keep energy affordable, safe, reliable, and sustainable. That includes how we manage the new energy demand that we're seeing from data centers as well as our state's growing population. Just like with Energy Saver NC, there are many ways that we can lead the way into a clean energy future and help families cut costs at the same time. I'm excited to see and report on what the task force recommends. But now I'm going to turn it over to Secretary Wilson and then Ms. Mosine Lowe to talk more about Energy Saver NC. Secretary Wilson.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here with you today. I want to recognize a few of my DEQ colleagues. We have Assistant Secretary for Resilience, Kathy Dello, right there. Julie Woosley, who runs our State Energy Office, and other members of the State Energy Office. Thank you for all the great work you have been doing and will continue to do on Energy Saver NC. It has been extremely cold in recent weeks in North Carolina, and we all know what that means. When temperatures plunge, home heating costs spike. Just like on those sweltering days in the summer when temperatures and utility bills climb uncomfortably high. And in this recent winter storm, all 100 counties experienced sub-freezing temperatures for some number of days, and either snow, sleet, ice, wintry mix, freezing rain, or some such combination. And this put a real pressure on our energy grid. Those long stretches of colder temperatures force many families to use more of their limited income just to stay warm. As Governor Stein mentioned, affordability is a real concern for North Carolina families, and energy costs are a key element of what a family needs to pay for every month. And that's why today's announcement about Energy Saver NC reaching all 100 counties is so important and so timely. The main goal of Energy Saver NC is to reduce utility bills by making homes more efficient. When you use less energy, you save more money. And as the governor said, our initial estimates just for one of these programs is that a typical family could save about $1,000 a year. And we all pay our utility bills once a month. That works out to about $80 a month in savings, which can make a real difference for a family. In addition, though, to helping families save energy and money, these energy efficiency measures will make their homes more comfortable and healthier. We will be creating less air pollution and less carbon emissions, which means we'll all be healthier. We will be creating less strain on our electric grid, which is really important in times of extreme weather. And as the governor mentioned, more than 2,000 people are going to get jobs out of this, being the contractors who are installing these measures in those homes. Since the program's launch 1 year ago, our initial estimate is that we have received 4,818 applications, that's 4818. 1,709 have been approved and are working their way through the process. And thus far, we have an estimated $770,000 worth of projects in just 51 households. So we have so many more households that are going to get these energy efficiency improvements, and they're going to save a lot of money. So we encourage North Carolina residents to apply for this program. You can go to energysavernc.org to find out if you are income eligible, and if so, you can apply right there online. And this is just one of the things DEQ is doing to help ensure that we have a future where energy is safe, reliable, plentiful, and clean. So it is now my great pleasure to introduce someone who I've gotten to know a little bit in the last few months. And that is Mosine Lowe, the Executive Director of the Center for Energy Education. That's a nonprofit in Roanoke Rapids in beautiful Halifax County. The center works on renewable energy research, industry innovation, and workforce development, all focused on expanding renewable energy and creating economic growth. Last fall, I was fortunate enough to attend the center's Energy Fest, which is an amazing day. Like 1,000 high school students there all day learning about energy efficiency and clean energy and renewables. It was so impressive, and the students were really engaged. And it helped that there was a marching band. That was awesome. Halifax County was one of the first counties in the Energy Saver NC program, and Ms. Lowe has brought so much energy and commitment, and not just her, but her colleagues on the board and on the staff as well. They have so far assisted more than 800 people in applying for this program. It is incredible work in a county that needs jobs and needs clean energy and needs energy efficiency. So I'm just thrilled to welcome Mosine Lowe from the Center for Energy Education at Halifax County. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. For Governor Stein and Secretary Wilson, thank you for the opportunity to speak about Energy Saver North Carolina. Halifax County is one of the 2 January 2025 program launch sites. A year later, residents in Halifax County, and this is in rural northeastern North Carolina, are really feeling the positive impact of having lower utility bills, warmer homes this winter, and improved health effects from new, more efficient appliances and HVAC systems. This is the real deal, you all. My name is Mosine Lowe, and I am the Executive Director of the Center for Energy Education. We are located in Roanoke Rapids, Halifax County. We serve as an education organization, especially for rural communities, because we want to make sure that our communities have the same opportunity to participate in clean energy programs. Our reach is into the school system, K-12 schools. We support workforce organizations, and our role also is to educate leaders. Energy Saver allows everyday people to see clean energy technology in their homes. I'm going to say this again. Energy Saver North Carolina allows everyday people to see clean energy technology in their homes. It connects the dots for people, so they can experience the benefits of clean energy firsthand. A lot of times we have programs, and the programs are large-scale programs. They're for leaders. But to bring the program into the home of residents is really a good thing to do. We were delighted to have Energy Saver land on our doorstep, Halifax County. Our outreach is an extension of our organization's mission to offer clean energy programs in rural communities that lead to workforce and economic opportunities while creating a better environment. With the Energy Saver program, our team goes out into the community, presenting to community leaders at commissioner meetings. We were in Warren County last evening. We host a range of educational events across multiple counties. We have meetings in churches. We have meetings in senior centers. We're finding ways to engage people to inform everyone about the benefits of the Energy Saver program. Now, as the added bonus of this program, we have the opportunity to partner with DEQ. And in this way, we're able to offer workforce opportunities for local contractors to perform energy audits and to complete HVAC installations. Another plus for rural communities. We're bringing good jobs into our communities. We have had more than 800 residents walk through our doors to learn about Energy Saver North Carolina. In fact, just yesterday, we heard from our DEQ partners. The C4EE helped enroll in Halifax County more than 800 people. 516 applications have been submitted. And of those applications, 319 approved. 319 approved. And which means it's time to, 319 applications approved. Energy Saver has impacted 31 households in Halifax County, and there are much more to come. We get to meet the folks that come through our door. We get to hear their stories. And one person said to us, "My home has never felt this warm before. My light bill is now $100 less this month." That is really a big deal for residents. It's amazing to see residents walk through the door, apply for the program, and they come back the next day with family members or friends and ask them and help them to enroll. The process is really quite easy, but it just tells you that residents in rural communities are interested in participating in this program. We have extended our outreach to neighboring counties, Northampton and Warren County, and today, in fact, Secretary Wilson, our staff is in Washington County. And next week, we head to Martin and Terrell counties. One of the residents, participants in the program calls us every day, every week, it seems. She called today to say, I've been approved, which I knew because she told me this weeks ago, that the date for the workers, the contractors to come was April 27. She called today to say that the contractors will be there on February 23rd. You can imagine how happy she is. So DEQ and C4EE's partnership in the Energy North Carolina Saver Program provides resiliency in our state through cleaner communities and a brighter future. We are so excited to be part of this program. We're so excited to bring this program to counties in eastern North Carolina because it provides an opportunity for everyone to benefit from clean energy. Thank you.
Secretary Wilson, did you say there was 4,500 applications? 4,018, and we will have opportunity for you all to ask questions of them when we're done with the program. But I just want to compliment Ms. Lowe here. 4,800. Of that, 800, which is 1 out of 6 applications in the entire of the state, comes from Halifax County. So she is working this program the way it's supposed to work, which is to help working folks get new appliances or new systems that will make their homes more energy efficient, lowering their cost and lessening the amount of consumption of energy. So thank you so much for what you do.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thanks. Part of affordability is keeping costs down. But part of it is putting more money in their pockets. That's why I am laser focused on expanding access to good jobs with good wages in North Carolina. I'm proud that North Carolina was just ranked the top state in the country for economic development by Business Facilities magazine. And you will recall last month, we were ranked #1 state in the country for workforce development by Site Selection magazine. Those come on the heels of being named the top state for business in the entire nation by CNBC. Perhaps it should be no surprise that last year we had the best year for job announcements in the history of this state. More than 35,000 good-paying jobs and more than $24 billion of capital invested. All of these rankings and good news is positive, but we cannot rest on our laurels, and as your governor, I will not. The people of North Carolina are the state's greatest asset. When we invest in them, we invest in our future. That's why my Council on Workforce and Apprenticeship is focused on that topic. By partnering with employers, bringing stakeholders together, defining clear pathways to good jobs, and focusing on results, we are building a workforce that will help job seekers and employers alike. I'd like to highlight some of our work to invest in North Carolina's top-tier workforce, and as I do, I want to invite forward Janice Hill and Amanda Hill of Caromont Health to join me on the stage. Oh, sorry, come on this side, actually. Thank you. I'll introduce them properly in a moment. I'm excited to share this afternoon a new way that we're connecting people to opportunities. Every year, under the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, the state can allot funds to support key workforce development priorities. And today, I'm announcing that this funding will be dedicated to NC Career Launch. NC Career Launch is a state program designed to connect high schoolers with career opportunities through pre-apprenticeships and apprenticeships. Through NC Career Launch, we will grow youth apprenticeships across the state in a variety of industries and provide financial support for both employers and students. And hear that, employers, you will benefit as well. To get started, we will address the wait lists of existing programs that cannot serve all interested students. We will place a special focus on supporting youth apprenticeships in Western North Carolina. Apprenticeships are one of the best ways to support students, businesses, and communities across the state. 11th and 12th graders have important decisions to make about their futures. It's our job to provide them with real options, options that offer meaningful career paths right in their home communities. Last month, last month, I met Dylan Clark, an apprentice at MSI in Whitsett. He was apprenticed through the Guilford County Schools and through Guilford Tech. He told me that his dream was to own his own car and his own home. The young man is 20 years old, and not only has he purchased his first car, he has purchased his first home, thanks to the successful career he is already building in advanced manufacturing. Stories like Dylan's are what it's all about. It's about creating real opportunities for people to achieve their personal dreams. The promise of North Carolina is simple, that if you work hard, where you come from should never limit how far you can go. So let's keep delivering on that promise to our people. If you are a junior or senior in high school, I urge you check out nccareerlaunch.org. Whether you're interested in automobiles, culinary arts, manufacturing, aerospace, childcare, healthcare, or another industry, an apprenticeship could get you the training that you need to launch a successful career. You can learn and earn. You learn a skill for free. You take home a paycheck and you set yourself up on a career path. This is another win-win-win. Apprenticeships unlock doors of opportunity for the next generation. They help employers develop their talent homegrown, and they help our state meet its workforce needs. That's why the Council on Workforce and Apprenticeships set a clear goal to double the number of apprenticeships within the next 3 years. I am grateful to our partners, including public schools, community colleges, Apprenticeship NC, workforce development boards, and the North Carolina Business Committee for Education, all of which will play a part in this work. In addition to these partners, employers are critical to the success of this effort, and they have a lot to gain by participating in the program. I encourage employers across the state to consider how youth apprenticeships could strengthen your talent pipelines with homegrown workers, proving yet again that opportunity is built right here in North Carolina. To demonstrate the value of these programs for employers, I've invited Janice Hill and Amanda Hill of Caromont Health in Gastonia to share more about their experience. North Carolina is soon projected to have the worst nursing shortfall in the entire country. Other healthcare professions will be similarly strained. But through apprenticeships, Caromont Health has significantly reduced its dependence on traveling nurses, which are expensive, and sees retention rates of up to 34% higher than traditional recruitment models. I will first invite forward Janice, and then she will hand it off to Amanda. Janice, Amanda.
Thank you, Governor Stein. My apologies for my allergy-laden voice. I'm Janice Hill, Director of the Workforce Transition Program at Caromont Health, and I'm also a career nurse of 40 years. In 2019, Caromont Health launched its very first apprenticeship, CNA 2. But by 2021, we recognized that we had to be both innovative and proactive while we're facing the deepening nursing and healthcare shortages. A small but dedicated team were charged with talent pipeline development. While the industry standard has always been to look externally for talent, and we still do, Caromont Health looked internally. We recognized that we had employees who had the motivation to go back to school. We recognized that we had employees who could academically be very successful, but they were without financial or environmental support. And that's where we stepped in, with a hand up, not to be confused with a hand out. The CNA 1 program was developed, that first class made up entirely of housekeepers and people who delivered our food trays. Some of these individuals have gone on to become nurses. The vast majority of our employees/students are first-generation college students, as are Amanda and myself. It's 2026. We now have 11 program cohorts across 2 community colleges, and all of those cohorts are focused on the critical needs that are current and ongoing for Caromont Health. We have expanded to include 7 healthcare disciplines. In 2025, we work with Gaston College and Gaston County School system to develop our pre-apprenticeship program for high school juniors and seniors. And with that, I'm going to introduce Amanda. Amanda is our apprenticeship coordinator and nurse educator to talk a little bit about that program.
Thank you, Dr. Hill. We work very closely with the Gaston County School System and the Caramont Health Foundation to meet with students, parents, and faculty. We provide scholarships, pre-apprenticeships, and registered apprenticeship programs. If a pre-apprentice completes the cohort requirements and we hire them within 120 days of graduation, they will receive a tuition waiver for a registered apprenticeship. Caramont Health will pick up any additional costs, resulting in a debt-free education. With the expertise of our academic advisor, these pre-apprentices will receive ongoing mentorship and career planning. In August of 2025, we did hire 4 high school graduates. They all had completed their pre-apprenticeship program. The portal of entry is the CNA 1 position. These high school students have the opportunity to either complete that certification during high school, or we will send them to Gaston College for that certification. These 4 individuals are now working as CNAs in their positions at Caramont while they are working on prerequisites towards their chosen career path. Once they graduate as RNs, we plan to offer scholarships to complete their BSN program of choice.
And I'm happy to announce we started out with 4 last year. This year we have 22 in our program. So we have 11 juniors and 11 seniors. So through these academic partnerships, tuition assistance, and scholarships, we can help our employees reach both their academic and professional goals, potentially to the doctoral level. These combined initiatives have realized retention rates of 18 to 34% when compared to traditional entry into professional practice. Essentially, we are preparing our community to care for our community. Pre-apprenticeships are opening doors at Caramont Health. So we applaud you, Governor Stein, for the support for pre-apprenticeship across the state. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks. Would you join us at this point? Well, first, just Janice and Amanda, thank you for that wonderful presentation, and more importantly, thank you for giving opportunity to people in the community to let them know what's possible. And it's very inspiring, and of course, it helps you, but it helps everybody. So you love it. Thank you. And at this point, open for questions. You can direct them to me or to any of the speakers. Yes. We're using a microphone for people who are listening in from a home. I'm eagerly awaiting the recommendations of the Energy Policy Task Force, which is meeting next week to finalize their preliminary recommendations. There's no question that the demand for energy is growing rapidly, and it's in part because North Carolina is the #1 state where people from other states are moving to. We're extremely fast growing, but we're also seeing new types of businesses like server farms, data centers that consume incredible amounts of power. One data farm could consume as much as the entirety of the city of Charlotte. That's just an incredible addition of load demand that is without precedent in the state's history. So we've got to figure out, how do we respond to this? How do we deal with these data centers? And I think that what we can do is make sure that whatever new costs are needed, whether it's in terms of generation of new power or transmission of that power by those data centers, they should bear the cost. We should not be raising the cost of power on regular residential folks because of these new additional data centers. So figuring out new types of payment structures at the Utilities Commission to ensure that costs are allocated fairly and appropriately. Similarly, if there are times where there is great demand on the system and we run at risk of being at overcapacity and we have to dial it back. We saw that last week when Duke Energy requested homeowners to use less power, I think it was on Monday morning, so that we wouldn't overdo the grid. it is much easier for one of these massive data farms to dial it back and lower their energy consumption, perhaps put more of their work on a server farm in another part of the country which is not being subject to the same demands that we may be having from a particular weather event in North Carolina. There are rational ways to do this that can avoid blackouts on the backs of residential consumers. So to me, it's about making sure we come up with a fair structure that produces enough energy at the lowest kilowatt cost possible that is reliable, safe, affordable, and sustainable.
Do you think there are enough guardrails in state law now for these data centers, with energy use and any other factors, since it's kind of new still?
Yes, there's no question that the reality is moving faster than our legal structure. And so we're going to have to revisit some of the ways our laws are written to deal with this new reality. And that's why I'm looking forward to the report coming from the Energy Policy Task Force, because they will wrestle with some of these very specific questions.
Do you see any, when the report comes out, any immediate steps that you want to take, or is it, do you want people to process this, think about, future legislation or other things that you might put in place?
I look forward to seeing the report and studying it closely myself.
Thanks, appreciate it. I wanted to ask about the Energy Saver program. What are maybe I missed this, but is this federal money, and it came from what?
Yeah, it was U.S. Department of Energy, so it's federal money. It's over $200 million, and it's available to eligible homeowners. And that is people, it's income-based. So up to 80%, it will cover 100% of the expenses, up to $16,000 on the HVAC system and up to $14,000 for appliances. So new systems almost for free, depending on what the cost is. And for folks who are 80% to 150% of area median income, which is a lot of people, they get it for half the cost of what it would otherwise be.
And a follow-up, is this money just a one-time thing? And if so, is there a certain amount of time in which the money goes away?
I'll let the Secretary speak to that.
It is one time. And is there a deadline we have to? 2031. Go to energysavernc.org and
So if you're a homeowner and you're of modest income, don't even have to be extremely low income, but if you're modest income, this program can help you make your home more energy efficient. EnergySaverNC.org.
I have kind of a two-parter. Last year, they overrode your veto to pass legislation
They did?
that changed the changed the energy cost shift, right, for fuel volatility, construction costs. I mean, what can the state really do with that in place? What concrete tools does the state have to save people money? And also, Duke's citing their increased energy demand as reasons to keep coal plants online longer, new natural gas plants. That's going to lock in that fuel volatility piece for a lot longer.
Yeah, I did not agree with the law that the General Assembly passed. Clearly, I didn't. I vetoed it. That veto was overridden. There were two independent assessments that showed that that bill is going to raise costs on consumers by about $24 billion over the next 25 years, because what it does is lock in more construction for natural gas plants. And gas is an extremely volatilely priced fuel. And we don't know what gas is going to cost in 5, 7, 8, 10, 15 years. Because once you've built a plan, you've bought that fuel source for the next 30 to 50 years. The cheapest form of energy to produce today is solar and wind. I want the cheapest price energy we possibly can have. And the issue with solar and wind is its volatility, and that's why we have battery storage, which can mean that you can use those power sources when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing, because it's stored, and then you can put it back into the grid. That is one law that happened. I think it was not the right step forward for North Carolina. That's why I've charged the Energy Policy Task Force to wrestle with all of these questions and ask ourselves, what is the right structure? Because I fully acknowledge we have much more power that we need to produce because of the growing load demand. But to the extent we can have more people utilize energy efficiency and each of us reduce our consumption through more efficient uses of HVAC systems or appliances, then that will lower the demand for more power generation. And so, yes, we need to produce more power, but let's not produce more than what we need, and let's not lock in various types of power generation that are going to cost us a whole lot of money down the road.
Governor, under current state law, data centers don't have to pay sales tax on things like the electricity that they use. Do you support repealing that?
I certainly support understanding what is the cost. Right now, I've asked to know what is the state losing in tax revenue through favorable treatment of data centers, and we don't have a number. That is severely problematic. And so we need to do some research to understand exactly what the scope of the demand is and evaluate whether that is how we want to spend our scarce economic development recruitment dollars.
Do you have a timeline on when you might have a number on that? That does seem alarming.
We will, we're working on it, and we're working to see what the Energy Policy Task Force recommends.
On the Energy Saver program, I don't think I heard a number on the amount of electricity that could be saved through it. Is there any kind of range or estimate there?
Our estimate is that just in 2025, in those homes where these measures have been taken, it was, where'd it go? 293 kilowatt hours were saved, and that's just with a small number of homes that have gotten these energy efficiency upgrades.
Sure. And this is a big program, obviously. It is also a small chunk of the total homes in North Carolina. Is there any thought as to kind of the signal this could send towards the broader market of either home builders, renovations, anything as far as energy efficiency efforts go?
I missed part of what you said.
Yeah,
Can you do that
so
again?
you're not going to get every house in North Carolina to increase their energy efficiency through this program. Is there thinking that this might be kind of a signal to the market that energy efficiency efforts, get a workforce in place, tell people thinking about renovations that they need to go through these, that kind of thing?
I hope it does send a signal that people want and need and deserve energy efficient homes so that they have a more comfortable, healthy life and save money. And so it's one of the reasons why we are going to be talking about this program every single day all around the state, not only to sign people up to get their energy efficient upgrades in their homes, but also, as you say, to send a signal that this is something that people want and need and deserve.
Last question.
Sorry, quick question from my colleague. Regarding the Elections Board lawsuit, can you point to anything Republicans have done that a board under your control would do differently?
All I can do is point to what the board has done that gives me pause. I have not seen the submissions, so I can't say definitively how I would have responded, but the idea that having fewer early voting locations on college campuses is somehow promoting democracy is wrong. The idea that you would take away options for people to vote on Sunday when that may be the day they prefer to vote, making it less convenient for them to participate in our democracy, that is a backward step. So my hope is that this board carries out elections justly, with fidelity, with the goal of ensuring that every eligible voter in North Carolina has the opportunity to have his or her voice heard. And at this point, the jury is out. Thank you all.